Start recording. Start streaming. Are you sure you want to start streaming? Yes. Yay for dual monitors, that's all I can say. Right, so now this is where it gets a bit weird because the audio, there'll be an audio delay. Yeah. No.
Twitch audio.
Right, so you should now also get you, if you talk now, you should also get you talking because that's coming through as desktop audio for me, which is then obviously being broadcast out via Twitch.
Oh, okay. Can you hear my audio?
You will shortly.
Oh.
Well, there should be.
Maybe you have a directional microphone.
Hey, can we hit the expand box?
Which one is, what are you pointing
The
at?
one next
This
to
one?
yeah, that one.
We can also do this full screen.
Yeah, but then we can't see. Well, I mean, that's nice, but we can't see the chat.
But wait, is this Zoom? Because, or no, is this Twitch? This is Twitch right now. Oh my God, the picture looks so clear. I can read everything on it. Yeah. It looks amazing.
Right, so I've set the Shenanigans to 1280 by 720, so it's 720p.
Is that the official term, shenanigans?
Well, I mean, you know, shenanigans.
So Robert is here now, and he doesn't think that we're going to be able to do it.
Do what?
to be able to.
I wasn't going to say anything about Twitch. My negative.
So negative.
Vibes because I didn't want to jinx it.
Well, we are live now. Are we? Well, obviously we're live because you're receiving the video.
But the question is, if Nick does screen sharing, what will we see? What's going to happen?
You won't see anything unless I move the Zoom video across to the desktop that's being captured. You should be. You should in theory just be seeing the Blender interface, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So if I just do that, there might be a delay.
I can see your mouse.
So we see your okay.
Look, here's us. Here we go. Oh
yeah.
No, now we went away.
No, you were getting it.
Oh yes, I know. I'm just it's like, are you sure this wants to be broadcast?
Oh.
Well, I think more if I do something like.
Well, grab his desktop.
Yeah, what we want is Nick to screen share.
This and hit that.
So are you sure you're?
Oh, hang on. It goes into full screen automatically. So if
you should be able to change that.
How's the time delay?
There we go. So that's Nick's screen now.
Yay.
That's awesome.
Well, but is it Nick's screen now because it's Zoom sharing, or is it Nick's screen now because you're twitching it?
It's being twitched.
It's zoomed and twitched.
It's twitched from Zoom. Zoom is being recorded on Twitch.
Well, that'll do it.
Mr. Negativity.
I'm glad to be wrong sometimes.
I don't know what the time delay is, though. How can we tell?
Well, if I do this,
oh, that's pretty instant.
About a second. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah,
good.
except the frame rate update is pretty awful. He spun it, right? So we could see it on his screen, see it rotating fairly quickly.
So for a video game, it would be bad, but for doing a tutorial like this, it should be fine.
Should be fine.
And look at how much clearer the text is than last time. It looks, you could totally read everything.
Well, that's because Nick can broadcast with the rest of them.
No, JazzCat is the one broadcasting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what did you do?
I just upgrade
the.
So it's 720p, so it's 1280 720. I didn't think that I had the bandwidth for it before, so that's why it was a bit fuzzy before.
All right, marvelous. So now you can be clear.
Yes. Well, as clear as the bandwidth will allow.
Yeah.
How do I shrink this?
So.
No, I can.
Remember that this is being broadcast and recorded, so if you minimize Blender and you've got something open on the desktop like a database or something that you don't want anybody to see, keep that in mind.
Oh, I'm only sharing the Blender screen.
All right, okay. Good.
Yeah. Zoom is good about that. I only have to share Blender. Yeah. So where are we going?
Yeah, let's try learning something.
Okay, well, let's just keep Nick's screen up on screen, and we can just go through that. And so you mentioned before that it's the interface and moving around and stuff like that you were having problems with.
Yeah, basically, I'm basically new to doing stuff with 3D tools. I mean, I tried to learn Blender like 5 years back now. Like went through a tutorial, and at the end I had like a gingerbread man or something.
Right.
But that was forever ago. Memory's not fantastic, and they changed this whole thing around.
Yeah. So are you using a 3-button mouse?
I have a Magic Mouse and I have a trackpad. So this is a Mac. We'll have to deal with that. But
it's gonna magically figure out how to use it like a PC mouse.
Yeah.
So you don't have, or do you have a middle mouse button?
Nope.
If you use 2 fingers, I think that acts as a middle mouse.
Right. Well, there is a way to adjust that within Blender. So if you go into the File menu.
Oh, we already handled that, yeah.
Otherwise,
so what does the middle mouse do? If I 2 fingers on the trackpad, I can do this.
Oh, right, okay.
And then there's just various.
What about the clicking part? You have to click with 2 fingers? Or what?
Do you have to click a middle mouse button?
Yeah.
I think what does the middle mouse click do?
That rotates the view normally.
Well,
right. Click and hold, and then you rotate it. So when he uses the trackpad and he puts 2 fingers, that's a click. And then he.
Oh, that'll be the same thing.
Or I can hold down Option and do this, but
Yeah.
this is more freeform, not rotate, is it?
Yeah, you've got a much more well, I mean, it approximates the middle mouse click, so that's fine. I mean, that you are doing what you would normally be doing with the middle mouse button. If you clicked and dragged that around, you'd be rotating the view.
Right.
So to strafe, you would normally hold the Shift key down and then middle mouse click drag, and that would drag you side to side.
Well, this is the trackpad here, but
right.
Yeah,
so is that you just tracking across the pad, or are you doing something specific to do that?
He's got his finger holding down the Shift key, and he's got 2 fingers on the mouse pad.
Yeah, if I hold Control, it does this. If I hold Shift, it does that.
Yeah, that's okay.
So yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, basically, so your 2 fingers on the trackpad basically approximate middle mouse click, hold, drag to manipulate the scene.
I mean, the only thing I think we're going to have trouble with is if I have to hold the third mouse button and do something.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think that's going to be the case.
So you've still got your normal left click, right click.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Excellent. Well, that seems to be fine. That's fine. I mean, you've got left click, mouse, right click, and then you've got your two fingers on the pad for rotate. So it's just a question of getting used to manipulating. It's a muscle memory thing. You have to get used to using your fingers, using that trackpad in a way that will rotate the scene or manipulate the scene. So how do you, if you move the mouse cursor over the timeline running along the bottom of the screen, yeah, so how do you, using the trackpad, how are you, normally you could use middle mouse click drag to drag that timeline left and right. So what are you doing for that?
2 fingers. 2 finger swipe gesture.
Okay, well no, that's excellent, because that basically means then, yes, that just the two fingers on the trackpad are replicating middle mouse click drag for all the other functions. So scrolling, you know.
I don't think it works. Well, I don't know if there's really anything to do here on the side.
If you expand some of those options, if you left click on the little black arrows and expand the options where you were just below.
Right here?
Down below, when you were moving the so you see the little black arrows next to the headers, the headings. So you've got metadata, post-processing, performance, shading, down below. That's it. Yeah, those. Right, so if you just click a couple of those to expand all the options and make the... That's it. Now that you've got that expanded, you can see it. Right, yeah, so that's 2 fingers across the trackpad as well.
Actually, that's 1 finger on the mouse. So.
Oh, okay.
But that works. Yeah, 2 fingers on the trackpad works too.
Okay, so that's basically the same as a normal mouse, where you can use obviously left click drag on the scroll bar and that scrolls, or you can use middle mouse click drag and that scrolls as well. So that's the same as well. So yes, it's your 2 fingers across the trackpad replicate pretty much feature for feature or function for function the middle mouse button. I mean, obviously the difficulty for you is that when you're reading something or somebody's saying middle mouse click, you have to remember to interpret that as 2 fingers on the trackpad.
Yeah. Or we could just, just say, scroll, pan, or zoom.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, that seems fine to me.
That's pan, that's zoom, rotate.
So how about if we go through making a gift box, but you just say, hey, wait, what did you just do there? How did you do that? You just have to speak up, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, we can keep we'll keep Nick's interface on screen, and we'll use him as the guinea pig.
Yeah.
So
by the way, what is this like crosshair thing?
That's the 3D widget. Oh, you mean the
3D cursor?
Yeah, the 3D cursor. So you've got the widget.
Yeah, this black thing.
And that's the 3D cursor. Yeah, that's you can use that for positional placement. So if you wanted to place an object specifically somewhere on the screen, you would left click anywhere on the screen, and then you can add it. You can add objects, do various types of editing based on that as a pivot point or an origin point.
Yeah. Kind of distracting. Wish you could turn it off, but oh well.
Yeah, it's irritating. I think. You don't think it's irritating? I do.
It's just another tool.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's always,
I'll just put it in the corner there. But it's in 3D space, so if I put it in the corner, you know, I don't know where I left it. But I guess you can always move it by doing that.
You can reposition it. So if you wanted to use it for something, you can reposition it using X, Y, Z coordinates, or you can snap it to various objects on the screen.
Anyway, so yeah, the gift box.
Right, so before we do anything, right click the cube just to make sure it's selected. I want to check something.
All right. I believe we are.
Right, now in the properties panel on the right of the screen, that's the one with all the buttons across the top. The one below, that's it. See the one with the sphere?
That one?
To your right, that one. Yep, click that. Left click. Right, so it does have a material. Left click the button that's to its immediate right. That's the checker. And it does have a texture, but it doesn't have an image. So, what we can do, we can either edit the box and then fiddle around with the materials, or we can fiddle around with the materials and get those set up using what's there and then edit the box.
What do you think is best?
Well, as we have a material, we might as well get that set up and sorted out first. So, if you double click, left click, double click where it says text, yeah, the bit that's already highlighted, so double left click that. Whoops.
Nothing seems to be happening.
Try single click. Try clicking the name itself on the text. That's it. Because basically what you're doing is highlighting the text for editing. That's it.
Okay.
And then just type gift wrap or something like that. Enter, yeah. And you see that it changed the input box that's below the aperture there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's a texture named. Below that, can you see where it says type?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Click that and select image or movie.
Image or movie.
That's
Gotcha.
it. You see the properties have changed. Down below, just about where your mouse is, can you see the new button?
Nope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Left click that just once. Right. Type gift box for the name or gift wrap. And change the height and width to 256. So select and type. So left click type, or you can use tab. For the generated type, left click the list and select UV grid. That's it, and then click OK. and we've got a UV grid image that's generated now associated with the texture. Click the material properties button, that's the sphere up above.
Oh, this one?
The other one. The one to the left of the checker.
The one to the left of the checker.
Yeah,
that
we're in texture properties now. We need to be in material properties. That's the spherical button, the sphere button that you pressed before.
This
That's
one
it.
then?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. Sorry.
That's all right. Do the same with that. So double click that name where it says material.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, if you edit that, it's single click and then just type gift wrap in there. And then add an append, bracket 0, close bracket. That's the square bracket.
Like that.
Yeah, that's it. Press enter. That makes sure that the material conforms to what IMVU is expecting. So what you can do now, you should be able to, I've never actually done this because it's muscle memory, but if you left click the listing in the aperture, you should be able to left click drag it across onto the box.
Listing,
Yeah,
so
that's it. So if you left click the sphere itself, little icon, yeah. Oh, we've already got it assigned. Never mind, forget that. It's my mistake. It's already assigned to the box. We can double check this. Below the...
Oh,
there you go.
this one.
Yeah. Right, so below, where it says diffuse, below the aperture where you've got the preview, yeah, left-click that field that you just moused over, and then left-click drag around in that color wheel to change the color of the material.
That's pleasant.
And to confirm that, you just move the mouse away instead of clicking or pressing enter. It just does it automatically when you move the mouse to one side. So that's our material. So what we want to do is see the texture that's assigned to this cube. At the moment we're in solid mode. Yeah, Hot Wheel Pink. Jinx said.
Oh, you are reading the comments.
I am.
It's more of a magenta.
No, I like that the blue in it. So
That is a fuchsia.
Yep.
yeah, it is more fuchsia than magenta, I think.
Sassy pink.
So the guy
Oh.
color.
Okay, yeah, I don't know why we're listening. Why does it look? Oh no, never mind. I know the answer.
Right, so if you move, see the directly underneath the 3D view is that you can see that strip of buttons under the 3D view where the cube is.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's your main control and menu options and buttons for the 3D view where you do everything. So where your mouse is right now, you've got a mode selector. If you just left click that, you get all these various options. And a couple of those are useful for what we're going to do. But if you just move the mouse to one side just to cancel that, see the spherical button to its right? Yeah, so left click that and then select texture. Right, so what we now need to do is assign the image to the UV of the box, and we need to check that it's actually got a UV. So click on object mode that you just clicked on. Yep. Edit mode. Yep. Left click. Just rotate around the cube to make sure that everything is selected.
It looks like all the vertexes.
Yep. Now, if that wasn't the case, and you had some faces missing, what you would use is the select menu that's bottom left. And you'd click on deselect. Deselect all. That's it. What that would do is it clears any active selections. So if you didn't have a complete selection, it would then reselect, and you can use your A key as a shortcut for that. Right, so with those selected.
Oops, sorry.
That's all right.
Just want to get rid of these things. How do you delete these things?
Oh, you can use the, what are you deleting?
Oh, it's just the lamp and camera. I keep seeing the freaking drop shadow, and it's annoying me.
Right, well, to do that, if you zoom out of the 3D view slightly so that you can see the objects, you can then right-click select them. Shift right-click.
Shift right-click.
Yeah, right-click and then shift right-click if you want to get rid of the camera as well. And then just press delete or X. That's it.
Great. Why is my box, whoops, extra pink now?
What happened? The we're only seeing a little menu slither.
Yeah, we're back.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, so what that indicates is that the material is, well, the cube has a material, and it goes, it's displayed, what do they call that?
Oh, because there's no lamp, there's no lighting.
Yeah, and it's full bright because there's the box can have shading even though there's no light in the scene, but it's full bright like that because there's a material assigned that has an image associated with it, but they're not assigned to the cube, or the material is, but the texture isn't, the image. So, immediate bottom left of the 3D view, you've got a little button that's to the left of, yeah, so left click that, and we want UV image editor.
UV image editor.
Oh, hang on, before we do that, actually, move the mouse to one side just to cancel that. Right-click the cube.
Okay.
We need to be in edit mode, so click on the object mode, edit mode, and then switch.
Okay, whoops. Do it again.
Go back into left click the, that's it, left click that, 3D view, down at the bottom. Double check that everything is selected. So press the A key just to, that's it. Right, so go back into the UV image editor. Right, so it doesn't have a UV. So go back to the 3D view, yeah. Right, so we want to create a UV for this. So from the mesh menu,
Mesh.
bottom left,
Bottom
the mesh
left.
menu that's next to, that's it.
There we go.
We want, where's it gone? We want
UV unwrap.
yes, that's the one. UV unwrap, and we want reset. So left click reset at the bottom. Right, so now if you go into the UV image editor, that's it. Right, there are our UVs. So from here, can you see where it says new? There's a button that says new.
Where should I be looking?
On bottom left, you've got two buttons. One says new, the other says open.
Ah,
that's it.
Great.
Right, to the left of that is the little picture. Click that, left click. and that's our image. So if you left click select that, it's assigned to the UVs. So if you go back into the 3D view now, left click the editor button, that's it, 3D view, it's now assigned to the cube.
All right.
So that's part one. You might want to save the file so you have a restore point.
I'm still confused about how you can have a material and the texture assigned to the material and the material assigned to the 3D object and still not get the texture from on the 3D object.
It's basically because the material doesn't rely on anything other than a physical assignment to the object. The texture or the image, the bitmap, whether it's a generated one or a bitmap, that relies on there being a UV map. The object has to be UV mapped for it to appear on the cube, on the object, because that's what, essentially that is what UV mapping is. It's the image is mapped to the object based on what the UVs are doing. So without that,
right. But when he connected the texture to the UVs,
yeah,
does that also connect the texture to the material?
No, that's essentially it's if you think of how to explain this. Essentially, the material is a data block, and the object is a data block. So they're essentially two separate data blocks. So although you can create a connection between the two by dragging and dropping the material onto the box as an object, to actually get the image to appear, the object needs the UV map. And then so you're creating, it's like a hierarchy of data. So if you consider the material as a whole, an object, and then you've got your 3D mesh as a whole, as an object, you've basically got two objects. And what you're basically then doing is creating hierarchical connections between the different elements of those object or data blocks. So you've got the mesh as an object and the material as an object. But the material also contains the texture and an image, in the same way that the object has, whether you've got mesh, the mesh faces, the UVs, and various other elements that can be influenced. So you're basically just linking them together at different layers, for want of a better way of putting it. So the cube needs to be UV mapped for the image to be associated with it.
What does UV stand for in this context? I keep thinking ultraviolet, like it has something to do with lighting or something.
It's just the coordinate system. You've got your X, Y, Z coordinates for 3D space. The UVs are just a coordinate system, but with respect to a 2D plane.
Gotcha. So Cartesian.
Yeah, it's just because X and Y was already used.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Oh, we've got a lot of people in the chat.
Or just me talking a lot.
Oh,
Well, it does say 5 people are watching.
my eyes deceive me.
Polystyrene did sign up just so she could type in here.
Is that Polly?
Yeah, she said polystyrene was taken.
Oh.
So she had to find a new name.
Hmm.
You can only change your name every 60 days, so now she's stuck with Polysmells for 60 days.
Hi, Polly. I would hope not. I'm not reading that out.
Why not?
All right. Polly smells. My smell is long lasting.
Wow.
Ray.
Yeah, and we've discovered the stinky cheese emoji.
Yeah, so remember, shenanigans are being recorded.
That's all right. Just so long as, you know.
I did
but-
figure out that if you were wanting chat to be part of the video, you'd have to use
special recording.
Yeah, you'd have to use another screen capture thing to record the whole thing whilst you were doing it. Otherwise, it just doesn't record it, as far as I can tell.
I thought that there was some sort of an option to embed the chat as part of the recorded.
I think it embeds when you replay it in Twitch, but
Yeah.
if you were to port it to YouTube or something, you won't see it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you were going to upload the stream broadcast to another platform, you'd have to capture the entire broadcast output as a
Which sounds like a
Well, I mean, if you're recording the screen window, that usually has a chat on one side.
Yeah.
But that means that you can't go full screen.
Yeah, you've got a lot of window management to have to contend with.
Well, I think that we're lucky that we're not trying to do a game. Like, this should be easier on the computer.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Of course we're trying to do a game.
Isn't there a rat emoji? What?
I'm thinking there's probably a squirrel.
Is there a squirrel?
There may even be a donut.
Is there a donut emoji? Well, if you
I've
get
sworn
your,
off of donuts.
you need to
then I'll go.
upgrade your account so that we can give cheers, and so that you can make your own emoji. And when we give cheers, you like give us special emoji we can use. I read an article about it, but Robert's giving me this look like it's really sad you can't.
We need. What were the numbers? Well, a lot. You need a lot of views before you can do that. If I remember right.
That's why you have to stream all the time.
Yes, Mom. Yes, stage mom.
I'm his stage mom, didn't you know?
Okay, I'm starting to understand now.
He doesn't listen very well, though. I'm not a good stage mom because I'm not very good at it. Getting him to do anything.
Well.
Maybe I need to focus more.
I don't see donut. I see croissant.
Yeah, and I see like
Oh,
like
yes.
a sloth. There's a sloth, a frog, a few dogs, some cats, a raccoon.
I see a mouse, a hamster, a rabbit.
Wait, oh, I saw like a cartoony kind of mouse thing, but I just want a proper rat.
Panda, koala. I think that's a tiger.
There's a squid that actually comes in 3 pieces. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
Polly Smells just made it.
She made the squid? Oh,
Yeah.
I was too busy looking at emoji, not reading what she's typing. Now I can't see anything.
Man, there's a ton of animals here.
My engagement with Twitch has mostly been following the exploits of a failed first-person shooter called Evolve,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of fun to watch the games and the esports that they were broadcasting.
Yeah.
But just like everything else, it's like my favorite comic book store, right? Goes out of business because they don't go enough.
Oh, so you didn't go to Twitch enough, and they failed, and it's your fault.
Didn't go on the game enough. The whole game failed.
Oh, there is a donate emoji.
Okay, so there is.
So there is.
Well, we can make a better one that he can give out to us if we cheer for him.
All right.
You're like, that's nice.
He needs to render 3D elements.
There could be like a
emojis.
gift box emoji and like an ornament with emoji or an emoji, I mean, and then people that make something, you gift it to them in this Twitch. So they've earned the right to use that one.
Careful.
Hey Ken, I got to take off, but I want to feed an idea in your mind for a project.
Okay. Well, obviously not now because it's being twitched.
No, yeah, no. I mean, this is my suggestion to you, and you can do with it what you will, and I don't mind it being broadcast.
Okay.
So for a Twitch-based tutorial guide kind of thingy, what you could do is you could have in mind like a handful of different choice points when you're building an object.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So, if you say, well, we're going to do, a piece of furniture, and you could ask the group of people in the chat, you could say, go ahead and vote on, or give your suggestions
or give your cheers for.
Right. Whether you want me to do like a regular chair, a love seat, or a full-on sectional sofa, right?
Yeah.
And go on with it from there, where it's like you know where your choice points are. The other people, give a little bit of input at different places, but that allows you to have some flexibility in what it is that you're demonstrating, but also allows you to script a bunch of it beforehand so that you don't get, lost in the weeds.
Yes. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea to script it out.
Well,
I'm pretty sure that most of the people who are doing demonstrations of games don't have a whole bunch of scripting, but they do usually have something that they're setting out to demonstrate. It's usually I'm showing something, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Twitch is for, is, I'm showing this, right? Or I'm going to try this.
Yeah, I think we have to let go of the idea that people will be able to make a finished project from following on Twitch.
Yeah.
So it's really more to inspire them to go check out the regular tutorials.
Ken, do you get the Bob Ross painting series? Have you seen those?
Oh yes.
Yes. Have you ever tried to paint along with Bob? Yes.
No.
Yeah. It's an exercise in futility, even if you use a very small piece of paper that you're trying to paint on. Yeah. And the same thing goes with the cooking shows. You're just going to hurt yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
When Martin Yan starts going in and doing his chopping, you must not look at the TV.
There's a Julia Childs one where she literally drops like part of her omelet on the floor or something. Like, how are you supposed to follow along? You're like, oh, and now I dropped my omelet on the floor.
That's easy to do.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be demonstrating that. She's like, whoops, it's still good.
Well, yes. But you know what? Not everybody can drop their omelet and have it be okay.
Right.
Julia Child is a good enough chef.
But if you're following along and she's like, flip it, and then it drops, and you're like, flip it, and oh, that was a bad idea.
The challenge is flipping it and not having it drop on the floor for those of you following at home.
Should be like, don't do what I'm about to do.
My point is it's, a YouTube, you can pause and go back and watch it again, and that's the way that I use Alton Brown's cooking for Thanksgiving recipes. I'm watching it and I stop it when I need to, and I go back when I need to. Twitch, you want to have sort of like the show goes on, right? It's more like it's more like you're putting on a show and less like you're actually giving the hands-on instruction and stopping when people.
Yeah, it's essentially they've got the bits. You're showing or demonstrating how it all fits together as a not a sequence, but you're just basically showing how it all fits together.
Right.
All the principles, all the bits and pieces. No knife play.
But what you can do though is you can have your you have a library of YouTube videos where you explain a bunch of different pieces, right? And then if somebody comes into the chat and they say, but how did you do, how did you move things around? You could just fire off the URL and say, check this out, after the show. Yeah. And it'll explain how to do this or that and the other thing. And that way you've got that whole, you've got the mechanism for disseminating information all set up and ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely something that needs to be set up. It just makes it easier to just copy paste stuff into chat, because obviously you can't. I mean, you can show the URLs on screen, but it's not clickable, obviously.
Right.
But yeah.
But good sessions with people doing a Twitch session where you're switching between the different people's screens and helping them go along. That a recording of that might have some sort of use as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it's. I mean, obviously, it's just a slight the technicalities of how you broadcast. Whether you're doing a Skype, a Hangout, or a Zoom, or some other screen sharing system. That's the only thing that's that's the only thing that needs to be sorted out. But beyond that, it's just a question of sharing what's on the screen.
Yeah. All right. Well, I've got to head home.
All right.
But thank you again for all of your assistance.
You're welcome.
I have a feeling Laura actually wants to start hosting something.
What? No, I do. Oh, what? I'm doing it right now. No, I think I may end up doing the GIMP lessons.
Oh.
So, but I need to study GIMP a little bit. Fortunately, it's kind of similar to Photoshop. I think the biggest thing I need is a cheat sheet of the shortcut keys, because I don't even think about the Photoshop shortcut keys. I just do them. And so yeah, I need something to go, oh, it's different in this. Yeah. So I don't even know if anyone's going to care about GIMP, but we need to provide it just in case.
I care.
It's free.
I care.
I care that it's free and open source.
GIMP is my favorite.
Wait, can we build GIMP into the new creator tool? Would that be cool? Would that be cool? It's open source, right? Can we do that?
I believe now
before you have to do that as a project?
I have an aneurysm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if we can do that.
Right, so shall we continue?
Yes.
Right, so as we're in edit mode, what we can do is create a lid for this, or a top. And the easiest way to do that is using the loop, cut, and slide feature. So if you left click that button once, and then move the mouse over the cube, right, before you do anything, if you move the mouse around, you note that the pink loop changes its orientation depending on what edge you're moused over. Right, so if you mouse over a vertical edge, the pink loop places itself horizontally. But if you move over a horizontal edge, it places itself vertically. Because essentially what the tool is doing, or what you're instructing the tool to do, is split this edge in two. So when you have it over the vertical edge, what it's doing, as you can probably see there where your mouse cursor is, it is going to split that edge in two. So that's essentially all that tool is doing. And so the orientation of it depends on which edge you are moused over and the orientation that you want the cut to appear. So we want a horizontal cut. So yes, you mouse over the vertical edge. It can be any vertical edge around the object, just so long as one of them is moused over. So if you mouse over any one of those vertical edges and left click, that selects the edge and instructs Blender to use that orientation for the loop cut. So now you can see that if you move the cursor up and down, the edge moves with it. And this allows you to place the edge where you want it for the top of a box. So if you left click when you're happy with its position, that sets its place. That's it. So we need to do that again. So if you left click the loop cut and slide button again, that's it. Mouse over the vertical edge, left click to select.
The vertical edge.
Yeah, this the edge that you were just moused over.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Left click select and then move the mouse all the way up to the top. That's it. Left click. That's it, and you've set your edge. What we want to do now is expand that loop of faces that we've now created. So if you in the 3D header, yeah, so we've got 3 buttons in the middle, or well, towards to your bit more to the right. To the right.
Oh,
that's it.
right.
Those 3.
Sorry.
Those 3 buttons form your main mode of selection. So you can either select a vertex, an edge, or a face. You can actually select a combination, but to keep it simple, vertex, edge, or face. When you use the loop cut tool, it automatically switches to edge. So we want the faces one, which is the one on the right. That's it. That's it. Now if you right click that face where your mouse cursor is right now, that's it, that selects a face. And then yeah, if you hold the shift key down and do that, it selects multiple faces. And we just want to select the edge of the loop of edges. That's it. Now we need to because this is a cube, this is relatively straightforward. So if you move the mouse down to the 3D header menu area again, if you move to the middle-ish where it says global, right, now to the left of that you've got, well, 4 buttons, but the 3 main ones. If you click the one that the mouse is over now, left click, that's the scale manipulator. So if you move the mouse over one of the coloured arrows of the widget and left click drag, it scales the selection.
It seems to be only working in one direction.
That's okay. That's exactly what it needs to do.
Okay.
So if you scale the selection outward slightly so that you create a lid over the top of a box, that's it. And do the same for the green handle. Left click drag. That's it. And then release. Now that's another thing I think you were getting confused with or found tricky, is that you left click to activate, but you can also left click to confirm something, as well as you just did there, when you left click drag, if you release the left click button or the left button, that confirms the action. So the left click will depend on the context of what you're doing.
Gotcha.
So
is there any way to make sure these are even?
yes, you can do it numerically, or when you manipulate the selection, if you hold the control key down whilst you're doing it, it will snap to increments.
Oh. Except the first increment is already inside.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so we already have where we were, or where I was last week.
Yeah, yeah. So if you wanted to, let's say for the sake of argument, you wanted to adjust the height of the lid. If you zoom closer into the box and tilt it upwards slightly so that you can see the underside of the lip of the box. That's it. Can you see that thin edge of loops, thin edge of faces? Yeah. To adjust, yeah, so if you shift right click that selection of faces around the cube. That's it. Now where you selected the scale widget before, there's the 3 buttons you've got: translate, rotate and scale. Click the one with the little pointy arrow. Left click to its right. Oh, left click that. That's it, the one to the right, that's it. Yep, left click that. And you see the widgets changed. So if you were to left click drag the blue handle, you would change the position of that selection. So you could either scale it upwards or down, depending on what it was that you wanted to do.
Ah, gotcha.
And releasing confirms, or you can, if you do that and you're not happy, just use Control Z or Control Z to undo.
Okay, so if I didn't need to do that.
Right, undo, that's it. So shift right click to make sure you've got the faces selected.
There we go.
Yep, and then left click drag the blue handle if that's what you were going to do.
Yeah, looks good.
What we probably want to do here, now that if that's the basic box, what we want to do now is adjust the UV maps. There are a couple of ways we can do this, but the simplest is to adjust the UVs based on physical selection. So if you were to switch to the UV image editor now, so if you like bottom left to far left, that button in the corner, that's it, that's the one. The UVs that are displayed now are the UVs associated with the selection you've got in the 3D view. So if you adjusted those, just if you press the A key, do it again, then press the S key and scale them. That's it. Just left click to confirm. Switch back to the 3D view. Rotate the view so you can see. You'll notice now that the UV distribution has changed. You've got less texture on those selected edges.
Okay, so
So, yes, so you can do that to all the faces of the cube.
let's see the bottom alone. So take this, go to UV image editor.
Yeah. Press the S key. So if you want to scale them along a specific axis, because if you note the pattern, they're squished, not squished, they're stretched. So if you press the S key and then either X or Y, it'll change. That's it. That makes them really thin. So if you keep going with the mouse, it makes them larger. So if you check the 3D view now, you notice the placement has changed. So you can keep doing that until you're happy with the distribution of the texture over the surfaces that you've got selected. I think Cheese is probably out of his wheelhouse at the moment, Jinx and Polly. So you probably want to scale that. Whoops. Probably want to scale that along the vertical. So if you press the S key and then the X key, I think it is. That's it. Yeah, and keep in mind that the orientation of the UVs is relative to the object and the object's orientation. So you could scale along the horizontal in the UV editor, but it'll actually scale vertically on the object just because of the difference in orientation of the object and selected faces and other elements. So you have to keep going backwards and forwards to check. So we've got a basic gift box. We could add a bow, but it's quite complicated to do. Well, and relative to the amount of time that we've probably got left. But we could export this for IMVU in its current state. Yes, you can alter the UV placement or displacement by altering the physical structure of the mesh.
Yeah, so if you actually made a texture and you change the geometry, you have to redo the entire texture, huh?
Yes, essentially, yes. I mean, obviously, with this kind of object, you know, if you mapped it as you have, you can change the you can change the placement of the texture by just altering the mesh. But if you wanted to, if you did something significant enough, yes, you'd
Although
have to.
this seems to be stretching it, not really. Anyway, that seems a better ratio of vid to box.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So we were going to export.
Yeah, so if you exit edit mode, go into object mode. That's it. And save the file and increment so that you've got a reference point. Now for this, if you, the object is selected, right, so in the properties panel on the right, where you've got all the material buttons and the texture buttons, there's one that's, can you see the orange cube? Yep, click that. Where it says cube in that text input field, left click and just rename that gift box or something. That's it. Just resave the file just so that you've got that update locked in. Yeah, so if you just save.
All right.
Now for the next bit, we'll need the furniture node reference file. Have you got that to hand?
I do.
It should be furniture
node.
That's the one.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So what we need to do is append that cube, the gift box, to this scene. So from the file menu, left click file. Can you see append about 2/3 of the way down? Left click. Now browse to the location where you saved that cube, the gift box. That's it. Left click object, the object folder. Left click select that. Yep. And then left click append. Now it will be in the scene, but it'll be tiny. So if you press the S key, we'll use a shortcut for this, it'll scale it upwards. Move your mouse away from the, you might have to go quite a bit of a distance. Yep, keep going.
I don't know.
Okay, right click.
Right click.
Right click, yep, that just resets the selection. Right, so we can check that the actual object is in the scene, yes, because it's in the gift box. It's in the outliner. There's gift box. So what we can do is, if you click on that cube icon in the properties section again, down below, sorry,
Properties section.
on the right side, yep, that's it. The orange cube, that's it.
Gotcha.
We can change, so it's got a scale of 50. Can you see the where it says transform? We've got the scale option. So if you type left click select and type 100 just to double the size. It's just appeared poking out of the bottom there.
Yep, see it.
Right, so you can use the scale manipulator or the shortcut key S, or you can use the properties that you just edited to change the size of the object.
There we are.
That's it. That's it. We need to make sure that it's sitting on the ground plane, which is the grid. So if you left click drag the blue handle upwards, that's it. It can be approximate, doesn't need to be exact. Right, so save a version of your project so that you have a reference point.
Okay. So when you say save it, wouldn't that save?
You want to save as, yeah, and then rename the file gift box, was it? And then just do an increment. So you'll need to do it again. That just confirms, and then you have to click the button. That's it. Perfect. Right, so this is going to be a furniture item, and we need to position it so that it's directly above that. Can you see that wireframe cube that's just below the green and white cube with the numbers on? That's the root node of all furniture items. So we need your gift box to be positioned over the top of that. That's it. Right click and then left click drag the red handle. Perfect. Right. Enter edit mode. That's it. And in the properties panel on the right, you want to left click the object data button down below. It's the one with the triangle with the 3 dots. That's it. We've got a couple of sections here. We want vertex groups. So click the plus button to the right of that.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. Double click that. Rename it root, uppercase R. And then press enter.
Okay.
Right. Whilst we're in, are we in edit mode? Yes, we're in edit mode. So press the A key to select everything. That's it. And then in the section that we've just added the group to, click the assign button. Left click. Down below, that's it. Left click, that's it. Perfect. You could check that by using the select and deselect buttons in that section. That's it. That confirms that the group is assigned to the selection. Right, so exit edit mode. We have the box already selected, so shift right click the wireframe cube that's underneath. That's it, perfect. From the object menu, down below, that's it. Left click, we want parent. Object, left click, and then keep transform. That's it, left click, perfect. So save another version of your file so you've got a reference point. That's it. And we have those selected already, so we can export those. So from the File menu, Export, FBX. Browse to wherever you want the file to be saved and or rename the file depending on whether you need to do that. What did you do just then?
Saved as giftbox3 FBX.
Oh, okay. Go back into that. We need to do something to some of the settings. So File, Export, FBX.
Yes.
Right. Bottom left, we've got a set of properties that we need to adjust. Can you see where it says selected objects? There's a checkbox. Yeah, select that. Go into geometries.
Geometries.
Click the button, that's it. Deselect both of those. Go into armatures. Deselect that. Add leaf bones. Animations, you can go in just to have a look. We don't need to do anything with those. So we'll left click the main button again. Leave scale as is. Now you can export. Right, so you'll obviously have to now log into IMVU.
All right. Okay, I am in IMVU, but you cannot see that. So let me go to Zoom. I'm going to stop my screen share. I'm going to share the new one. All right.
Right, so open or access create mode.
Create mode. How?
So yeah, so you've got a set of arrows. Left click one of those until you get the create button. That's it.
There we go.
And we want derive new product. Select rooms and furniture. And then furniture. That'll show the chair. Excellent. And then click go. Perfect. Right, so we've got our tabs across the top right there. So click the FBX import tab on the right. That's it. That's it. And then click add. And then browse to wherever the file is, and that's it. Giftbox3.fbx. There it is. Select. Open.
FBX Cal 3D is not installed.
Interesting.
Cal 3D. Wait, now of course, now that Robert left. Why does it say FBX?
That could be a Python issue.
Wait, can you make it do it again and take a screenshot of it?
Sure. Let's see, where's the screenshots? Okay.
And then send it. So put it in that.
What happens if you click go now?
Nothing appeared to happen.
Oh, right. So you're on a Mac, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I reckon it's going to be a Python issue. Oh, I was looking forward to getting that gift box in here.
Yeah, so this might be an issue.
Are you're using the most up-to-date client, I presume, yeah?
That is a good question. I do not know for sure.
Oh yeah, you may not have updated for a while, right?
Yeah, something came up, said to get the latest client, go to here.
And you were like,
oh, okay, that's probably
yeah, it's like I don't have time to. Yeah, that could be it. Let's see what happens if we try and do that.
Not yet, Polly. This is an actual import error issue. It's something to do with the Python subsystem that Mac uses that's preventing the actual importer from doing what it needs to do to bring the FBX file in.
Man, what? Why aren't we using this for our tux?
that outfit?
Well, not that outfit, but this background. It's more compelling than the video we showed at login.
Oh yeah, with that room, yeah.
With the kind of scrolling thing going on.
I think it got outdated really fast. I don't know.
Okay, let's drop that there. Place. And it's in use.
Yeah. Yes, we're still twitching, and you are live.
And
Shenanigans are recorded.
Me, so I was like, hey. Oh, now I can watch myself. Wait, that's weird. Okay.
So that's Jinxy. And I'm not sure what Nick's IMVU name is.
Brigand.
Brigand
number 1.
Brigand number 1.
So that's Brigand number 1 and Jinxy. Jinxy is one of the community managers-ish.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
No, well, I can't remember what your actual position was.
I think my official title currently is creator advocate and program manager.
So she's one of the people that you can shout at when things break from the point of view of creators and developers. All messages go to her.
I don't know who's even listening though. Like Polly already, I talk to her all the time.
Well, if it's going to be replayed, it's obviously it's being recorded and saved. So for 14 days, people will be able to watch this and then.
I didn't post.
And if you save it as a highlight, then they can watch it forever.
I guess, yeah.
Wee.
Okay, I think
Internet famous.
Yes. I'm only IMVU famous. Ish.
IMVU's on the right?
That's true, it is. But did you see my picture in the entryway?
Okay, we're doing derive new product.
Furniture.
Rooms and furniture.
Furniture.
We're not a wall.
No. Okay. Now try that. So FBX import. Oh, that's, yeah, you must have had another version. That's it. So select the file.
box.
Okay, open. Yeah, brilliant. Right, so if you change the scale to 0.01,
0.01.
yeah, change the mesh ID to 0. That's the input box on the right there, yeah. So get rid of all that text.
Ah,
That's it. Your material is okay. The box is okay. Okay, so click import, left click. That's okay.
I love how the success information is in red text.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like you think it's an error, and then oh no, what went wrong?
I suppose I shouldn't be saying things like this on the Twitch stream.
Well, what color do you think it should be? Because
Green?
you could probably get it changed. Green. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Maybe I can suggest that, or maybe you could suggest that. Are you going to put that image?
I don't work on this
Slack?
client.
But are you going to put your error in Slack?
I could.
In the
What Slack channel do you?
FBX-converter.
Not on that Slack, but anyway.
So if you just click the import changes, take a screenshot of this if you needed to
already
reference
did.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now click apply changes up top there. That's it.
Fine.
And there's your box.
Woo!
It's got a funky default texture which we can change. So if you go into meshes, click the meshes tab. That's it. And then if you want to replace that, you click the edit button there and then replace it with an image that you might have to hand.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
Well, if you just select wood for now, if you select wood PNG and then okay. Now do apply changes again. Up top. Click the yellow button. That's it. There you see you've changed the texture. And then save the file and then you upload. And then you go through all of that to upload.
Rooms, furniture, it's not sure. What is it?
Bondage furniture, build a shelf.
Is there gift? There's a gift category in there, isn't there?
I think it's carnival equipment.
Carnival equipment? Okay.
There probably is a gift there, but I think
Okay,
that's a
why
funny
is there a
category.
scroll bar and why does it not work?
So you can drag it though,
Oh,
right?
okay. No, I can't,
You can't
actually.
drag the scroll bar? I wonder if that's just a Mac thing.
Might be a Mac thing.
Because, I mean, IMVU didn't used to work for the Mac at all. You're just lucky it works for you at all. Of course, filed engineers
I don't feel
use
lucky.
a Mac. I know, you know?
I can't believe there's no box category.
Yeah, I guess nobody thought to make a box category, but isn't there gift box?
Church furniture?
Well, remember that the categories was user defined once upon a time.
Yeah.
Oh, so all these are just grandfathered in?
Yes. And some of them, some of the earlier creators used it as a means to game the catalog.
I have to show you something.
Hey, there's Koi.
Look,
Koi.
look. Ooh, are you jealous? Look at that. I can scroll through the whole list with my middle mouse button. Look at that. Or drag it. Look at that.
Pet furniture? I guess if it's a cat condo or something.
Hey, I made some of those categories, so be careful what you make fun of.
Seating area. Oh, we didn't make it sittable, did we?
No.
That's okay. We're kind of low on time.
Yeah, it's after 6 p.m. here.
So what category were we looking for?
Just anything gift boxes or seasonal thingamajiggeries. Yes, Polly, there are a lot missing.
I don't see gift box.
Oh yeah, why are they missing? Why are they missing?
Okay, what was our other choice other than carnival equipment?
Yes, we
Oh,
could. Polly says we could do with a miscellaneous. Agreed. I second that opinion.
Yeah, I put a lot of stuff in miscellaneous. There's greeting cards. That's kind of the same-ish.
Well, you can always change it later.
Choose a rating.
Yeah, so it's general audience.
General audience would gift box.
Give it a price, profit.
Give it a price.
Yeah, you need to create. Can you see where it says 385 credits? That's
1
the.
million credits.
Oh, he's got to make an image too, though. That's only 100,000 credits.
You need to add an icon.
Oh, but you can
Why
do,
is my phone blowing up?
you can do
Oh, god damn,
999.
why is this even on my home screen? Somebody got a hold of my number and keeps sending me freaking obscene text messages.
Not
from Twitch.
Do they know?
Not from Twitch, no.
Do they know that it's you, or it's like they just?
I have no idea. It's just they're sending me obscene pictures.
Oh, it's actually pictures.
Yes.
How very modern.
Yeah.
Can you not just block them?
Yeah, and the thing is, they change numbers and they keep doing it. So.
Super weird.
Yeah. I have to figure out how to.
You weren't famous in a past life, were you, or something?
Nope.
You're IMVU famous.
I think somebody got upset either that or, I don't know, I got on a list or something.
Right, so you'll need to create an icon for this before you can upload it, I think. It won't let you upload until there's a product icon. So can you see where it said add image? So,
add image.
Yeah, so you'll need a 100 by 80 pixel JPEG or PNG or GIF.
Let's see here. Let's see what I got in my.
I mean, you can use a placeholder for now, but
yeah, I have a bunch of PDFs. Wow, I don't have any icons handy. Hold on. Images.google.com.
Jinxy might have something. She can probably break away from typing for a few minutes and send you one.
You want me to make an image?
Does it have to be a specific size?
Yeah,
Yes.
It has to be 100 by 80.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can change it later, so it doesn't have to be off the box. If we just want to go through this process, just to complete the process, it can be anything. It doesn't matter what it is.
It has to be exactly 100 by 80?
Yes.
Yeah, I can make you an image that's like Nick's gift box, Nick's preview. What do you want to just like text? What do you want it to say?
I honestly don't care. I can say anything.
Okay, hold on. I'm just making it now. Okay, I don't know. I think the font is a little too big or something. It is hard to make one that's like so small.
This is where we need elevator music.
What does it need to be?
Or
GIF?
like,
PNG? JPEG?
yep.
JPEG.
Uh,
What's the
wait, are you making one? I'm
Yep,
making
that
you
one.
one. You don't want the one I'm making?
You're trying to guilt me now.
Well, I don't know why I started a Photoshop. Wait, I'm going to send it to you on Slack, like right this moment. So, there you go. But
All
feel
right.
free to use your own. I'm just saying.
The PNG. Is PNG gonna work?
Oh, yeah. Well, I make preview images and yeah, it does, yeah.
Okay. Product image, add image, documents. Here we go. Box preview. All
That's
right.
it. There we go.
All right.
Check the other settings. So if you want it to be drawn, oh, that's it. Done. Oh, I can't see
All
the confirmation. Where's it gone?
I'm on the IMVU page right now.
Right, I say
Product is
that's not being
unpublished.
broadcast.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, no, it's not being broadcast.
Yeah. So you will be on a HTML product page, and at the top you've got a red banner that has a lot of text and the word published, publish underlined.
I saw the box on Twitch and not appear. That's weird. I mean, I thought, I don't know. Never mind.
Yeah, it's in my web browser. I don't want to show my web browser right now.
No. So
No, but
to
I
make
saw
the
the
product
window on-
live, click the publish link, and that will send the box through peer review, and you'll
Click here to find
suffer
it.
the joys of that.
Okay, product 3945724.cfo. Oh, that's pretty cool. Is that my box? That's not my box.
What are you going through peer review?
Am I?
Did you click at the top where it says publish? It says like
This product is in peer review, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah, so you have to, you can either wait like everybody else, or use your privilege and override that.
yeah. I think it's really hard to get the link to override it unless,
Yeah, it's
like
fine.
if you send me the link to the product, I can override it. But when it's your own product and you're on that page, like you don't automatically have the link. But I'm always curious to see how long peer review takes. Oh, no, wait a second. If you haven't submitted 10 products already, or some, actually, it's probably more than that, I don't even know, you're going to get manual peer review.
Okay,
Somebody in Manila is going to review your product,
right.
like maybe tomorrow or something.
But once it goes through peer review, it's available for anybody to use.
Yay, is it a chair?
No, it's just a standard box.
Oh. Does it have a surprise inside?
Not yet.
I'm not disappointed in this box. It does have a
Maybe.
nice texture on it. It looks nice. It would look nice staff. You can make it spell out some words. All right, it's almost 6:30. I'm going.
All right. That is enough screen I can touch.
Well, we should probably call it quits there and wait for the news of the product passing peer review, being available to anybody.
All right.
But that's the basic process. I mean, you know, you've modeled the box, applied UV maps, imported it, exported it from Blender, imported it into IMVU and published. So you too can now call yourself a creator.
I think some people will have issues with that, but thank you.
Hey, if you signed up for VIP and you signed up for the creator program, you
Well, I work
submitted
here,
at
so
least one thing
I
to the
am signed up for
catalog.
VIP.
Well, not everybody here is though.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
If some people don't need it for any reason, they've never been given.
Gotcha.
Right, so everybody say their goodbyes to anybody that may be watching this after the fact. That's goodbye from the IMVU folks.
Goodbye.
So long, farewell. Some
I'll be
people
just saying
good
good
night.
night. Yeah, we're gonna sing for you now, so you really are gonna want to go. I'm gonna end this meeting now.
Yep, and I'm stopping the stream. Bye for now, everybody. Thanks for watching.